My dear brothers and sisters, the key message today for each and every one of you is Christianity is not a collection of truths to be believed or few laws to be obeyed. Rather, Christianity is a person. Christianity is Christ. Just like how the governor, Pilate, asked Jesus if he was the king, in fact, the king of the Jews. And Christ, though exhausted, unable to stand, was right in front of him, shot back like a machine gun saying, "Does this come from you, or others have told you about me?" This is important, my dear brothers and sisters, because the true faith produces each and every one of us to have life full of truths, not full of facts, full of truths, because it has to make meaning in your life. And Christ came not to make us feel good, rather, He wants each and every one of us to do good. If only you and I should know what is the good thing that we have to do, I'm sure each one of us would be busy and our hands would be full. We cannot bypass this question, who is Christ? Or we cannot say, let us talk about me instead, because it will be a trivial challenge on each and every one of us of all the teachings of Christ. Why? Because we see we are all followers in a way. But are you a follower of Jesus just from a distant admirer? Because many of us love to be a distant admirer of Christ, doing so many beautiful things. We find all these apostles following him, and now he wants to see whether they have really understood him. And therefore this question is inevitable for him to ask them, who do you say that I am? And when the answer comes from Peter, then the next steps follows. And that is why we see the important part. The key moments in the apostle's life starts because one of the apostles says, "You are Christ, the Son of the living God," and that is Peter. Therefore, the key moments happen in the lives of the apostles. When we speak about key, my dear brothers and sisters, when I was a child, I loved to have keys in my hands. It didn't matter whether it was old car keys or house keys or trunk keys or any keys that would make me feel that I'm a grown-up. And therefore I have keys in my hand, I feel really happy. I have noticed many people also giving keys in children's hand, especially when they have a toddler who is very fussy, then that becomes a pacifier. Key, immediately a key is given and it becomes silent. And we find that keys have an important role to play, because key gives a sense of importance, because key makes one very important. The key makes one very important. Something of great value is kept under lock and key. And therefore, if the key is entrusted to you, something very important is given to you. The person with the key is entrusted with responsibility of caring, especially for whatever is locked up and kept. How many of you are having keys in your hands right now? There, you see. Many of you still hold on to your keys. And that is the reason why we find the key moment in the life of the apostle was when Jesus said, "I entrust the keys of the kingdom of heaven into your hands, Peter." Just imagine what would be happening to Peter when he is looking at those words coming from the mouth of his master, entrusting the keys. And therefore you find this is just an imaginary thing. No, it has a special message, very symbolic. Why? Because entrusting the responsibility. Not only this key, entrusting the faith. Therefore, Christ has entrusted this faith into the hands of the apostles and said, I have given it to you. I have laid it inside. And therefore now it is for you to open people's mind, to open people's heart, to open people's life and give them this message. That is very, very important for us, my dear friends. That is the reason why he says, what you bind on earth will be bound in heaven, what you unbind on earth will be unbound in heaven, to show the continuity. For the successor of Peter will continue to have that symbolic message of entrustment of that keys. Therefore, I see that there is something given to each and every one of you when we belong to the church. That every bishop is a successor of Peter. Today, when we look at this, we know the keynotes that Jesus has given, the keynotes that he has explained to the apostles. The same keynotes continue from every pulpit in the church. The message of Christ, the keynotes are given so that you may receive these keynotes and make your life and your hearts be open. That is the reason why we see when Christ gives us so many mysteries, you and I have to see the key, see through the keyhole, the mysteries of Christ. We all love to see through the keyholes. Why? To see what's happening on the other side. And therefore the keyhole is for you to discover the mysteries that Christ has given us. And that is necessary because when we have so many mysteries entrusted to the apostles and now to us in the Catholic Church, we have to collect them and keep in the keyboard. For the keyboard is a collection of all the keys. And for all the mysteries to be kept together is for each and every one of you to hold on to these mysteries and see that you are also very important in every mystery that takes place before the altar of God in our lives as well. That is the reason why, my dear friends, the key is to open. The key is to lock. And the collectivities of all these keys means security. Therefore, the security is that we all are secured to be one day in the kingdom of heaven. Have a wonderful key day today. Amen. Let us all stand for the creed.